Hey everybody, I know I haven't posted a video in 2 years, but I was looking for the right occasion and this seems to be the right occasion. Uh, Introducing to you guys, this is the 1980 Toyota pickup that has been in my family since it was brand new, 41 years ago or whatever. It belonged to my dad back in the day. He was a logger and a partier, you know, like everybody was back in that day. And had some really good family memories in this truck. Really good hunting trips. Just, you know, great memories. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2001. So this is one of the things that he left behind. And there is a lot of him left in it. It was kind of a, I don't know, kind of a legend in our area because it had been wrecked around 7 times and it was totaled over and over again, basically. My dad always told me that this truck saved his life many times because of the sketchy situations he would get himself into. And you know, in some ways it sucks that, you know, he's not around to tell me more stories. Luckily my mom's around to tell us stories, and you know, we'll be able to hopefully talk to her about it and maybe even get her on the channel and have her tell some stories about this truck and him, because this you know, you see videos about old trucks getting redone or whatever, and it's just an old truck that they found. This is, you know, for me, it's not an old truck. It's not just an old truck. It's you know, it's a way to keep the memory of my dad alive. Anyway, so it's a 4-speed manual, lifted 4 inches body anyway. You know, back in the 80s, everybody did body lifts, and my dad joined in on that. So it originally, of course, had a 20R. Let me see if I can open this hood without getting myself hurt here. So, actually, let me just pause real quick. So this engine, you may be confused or maybe even be cringing at the sight of this engine, but it is a 21RU that my dad got on a deal because he was on a logging camp with my mom. Long story short, it got so freaking cold that it froze all the gaskets in the engine, and once they fired it back up, it sprayed oil everywhere, and he didn't want to deal with rebuilding the engine or taking it apart, so he got this crate engine, and it's a 21RU, which is the same exact engine as a 20R, other than it has a lower displacement. Apparently, I did some research. Apparently, they use this engine in boats in Japan. So the thing about this engine, though, is that we've always ran it. It always started, and it always ran pretty good. We were actually running this pretty regularly about 10 years ago, you know, as just on the property truck. And then I went to school, and it sat for quite a while and just started deteriorating. And you know, that it's just kind of how it goes. Sometimes rigs just sit, and then you have to deal with it later. So I was able to haul it from Southern Oregon up to Northern Oregon, where I live, and it had been sitting for about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Got it started within 24 hours of it being parked on my property here in Aurora, Oregon. And you know, it ran like absolute garbage, and so I put a little tune-up kit in it, you know, plugs, wires, distributor, cap, rotor, all that good stuff. And of course the fuel filter. That's the only it looks kind of funny having it be the only new thing in here. Anyway, so this engine does run, and it smokes like crazy. I think there's a cylinder misfiring My plan for this engine is to get it cleaned up and running as well as possible. I may have to get into it. We'll see, you know. So it runs, you know, as these old engines are. The more you run them, the better they run. So I'm just gonna keep running it and keep cleaning it up. And see, I've already started. Like this valve cover gasket was covered in grease, and I did some scrubbing on that. And I want to get an aluminum radiator for it. Keep replacing stuff. I don't know if you can see the belt, but it's yeah, getting our money's worth out of that one. Anyway, other plans I have for the truck, I want to eliminate the body lift and do a true 3-inch or so lift on it. Put maybe 35s. These are apparently 36s, buckshot radials. If you're an old school guy, you're familiar with the term, with the buckshots. But I want to do it right. I want to do it slow, and I want to, you know, make sure that I'm not chopping it up like these guys do a lot. I'm not knocking them, because there's a lot of really cool trucks out there of this model that people chop up and turn into crawlers, and I think it's really cool, but that's not going to be for this truck. I'm going to get it basically, it's basically going to be like a resto mod type of thing. I want to do body off restoration. Take the body off, completely coat everything in, you know, undercoating or whatever I have, or whatever is the best for the application here in the PNW. Obviously there's some missing body parts. If anybody knows where I can find one of these panels, let me know, for a good deal anyway. I know they're out there, but they can be expensive. The left rear tire blew out years and years ago and ripped up that side. So I actually removed that when I was a kid. And yeah, I'm going through and correcting repairs I did when I was a kid, like 13, 14, which you do sometimes when you get older and you realize that, wow, you're an idiot, and you kind of made a mistake, or, you know, you learned. It was definitely one of my learner rigs. The bed is actually in relatively good shape. The bed is the only original body part on the truck. The cab is a 78. The front end is, I believe, National Parts Depot 79 or whatever. Anyway, from sitting, this door, this crank is kind of messed up for the window. It's kind of working sometimes, but because of that, the window was partially open the whole time and caused some cancer in the floor. But that can be patched relatively easy, so I'm not too worried about it. The interior is what it is. You know, it's gonna need some elbow grease and, you know, a new dash pad. I want to put a new seat in here, like a different, maybe buckets, but I want to be able to have 3 people in here riding around. My dream is to be able to ride around with this with my brother and sister. So yeah, luckily there's a lot of parts available, which is really cool. I can get taillights, headlights, grills, blah blah blah. You know, underneath it looks okay. You know, it's an old truck. I've got to get another muffler because that muffler is barely even attached. There's just like a hole in the back where the pipe goes. You know, and you know how that goes. So anyway, that's the truck. Gonna need a lot of work, but I know we can do it. If anybody has any parts resources they want me to know about, or and, you know, leave a comment and let me know, maybe some ideas. I want to put a pretty much stock bumper front end on it, but maybe add some, I don't know, something cool, not anything too wild. Want to keep basically the same platform, but have it be a nice truck, and be a truck that can be capable off-road, as well as look good, you know. So anyway, thanks for watching. and I'll be posting more videos as I make more progress. I'm gonna replace the headlights today and the belt, and just gonna little by little get it going and make it look good. All right guys, have a good day.